So hi guys, first I'd like to give a shout out to Two-Wheeled Logan for him pointing traffic at my channel. I'm pretty sure I got a couple subs from you, man, and I want you to know I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Looking forward to meeting up with you once I get my triple and taking a ride. Anyway, Spicy110 had posted up a video about the Revolution. And I'd like to say that I agree with him for the most part, and that I do think there's some sort of revolution going on, but I disagree with him in a bunch of other places. So basically what I think is that the revolution's already happening, but I don't see it as one giant upheaval. I see it as more of a slow crawl with no really big tipping point or anything. It's more like a slow evolution in the hearts and minds of people. I think that it's a revolution in that it's a new way of seeing the world and our place in it. I think it's basically about eliminating boundaries between people, eliminating excessive patriotism and fanatical religion and class, and pretty much anything that keeps us divided as a species. I think it's about spreading empathy and compassion for others. I think that we are well on our way already. We have a global form of communication like the internet. We have global music spread by the internet. We have global sports, like the World Cup and the Olympics and stuff like that. We also have global fashion like, Prada and Gucci, as much as I dislike them. Yeah, I think all of these things, they help to break down the barriers and build a global culture. And I think that it's through this that we will basically eliminate the current forms of injustice and disparity that Spicy was going on about. I think that's the only way to do it. And I think there are, don't get me wrong, I think there are a bunch of hurdles and stuff we're going to have to overcome. Lots of trouble and things for us to do before we can get there. But I think we're raising awareness to those hurdles that we need to overcome. I think that's important. With that said, I don't think that, or rather, I do think that disruption can be a productive way of raising the awareness for this thing. But I don't think that, I think that the disruption needs to be productive. I don't think that, preventing people from getting to work or making them late for work or any of that kind of shit, that's not going to make any sense. It's not going to do anything. If anything, it's going to hurt your cause. I think a good example of a good disruption is going to be like so for instance the internet blackouts that were used for SOPA and CISPA, and I think those were productive disruptions. I think they raised awareness to the item of the thing that was being fought against, and I think that's ultimately what they were going for. I think they did a good job at that. It's a productive disruption. And you raised a question there toward the end about what we could do. Well, I agree with you in that voting is stupid to a point. I do vote, and I know especially here with the two-party system, it boils down to pretty much the South Park episode of, voting for a douchebag or a turd sandwich. But at least I get some say in who gets to fuck me in the ass for the next 4 years. I mean, it sucks, it's horrible. I usually don't end up liking either one of the people, and I usually vote independent or third party. But it's, at least I have some small form of control, and, I exercise it. I think that's, important. You don't have to, but, I'm not getting on my high horse. I don't give a shit if you vote or not, but that's just, how I feel about it. But I do think that secondly, besides voting, what you can do is to help support and help raise awareness about the things that you care about, the things that are important to you. And I think that once again, it has to be something that's productive, something that's useful. Not like preventing people from getting to work. That's useless. So I think third, you need to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself as much as possible, and I think you need to do so in a manner where you're constantly trying to prove yourself wrong. There's a lot of disinformation out there, and it's easy to get caught up in a line of misinformation, and you think that that's right. I think that it's important that you need to go out there and figure out, find the arguments against your idea, your thought. Find a way to I guess, prove yourself wrong. Try and do that. And if you constantly can't prove yourself wrong, well then, you know, you're on a pretty good trail. I think that it's important that as you've developed those ideas and as you've started to educate yourself, that you discuss as many of the, you know, the important issues, the things that are important to you. I think it's good for you to discuss that with as many people as possible. I think that it helps you formulate ideas and helps you to formulate arguments, and also helps you to spread awareness of that particular thing. And with that said, I also think that I mean, there are a lot of people out there that they tend to follow whatever, you know, the status quo. They don't speak up. I mean, they have opinions, but they keep them to themselves. And I think a lot of times it takes someone to step out of that box. It takes someone to come out and say, you know, this is how I feel about it, for them to say, yeah, I agree. I think that it's important for people to speak up with what their opinions are. And sometimes it takes someone else, you know, saying the same things for them to agree. And I think that that's ultimately how movements are started. But I also think, lastly, that the, you know, penultimate thing that you can do is to, and this is something that everyone can do, I think you should live every day and try to do at least one selfless thing for someone else. I think you should strive to make at least one person's life a little bit better, no matter how small your contribution. And I think through that action, that's something that can catch on. That's something that'll help evolve the minds and hearts of people to spread that empathy and help to make the world a better place. But that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you next time.